Hello, this is Josephine. I'm here with the second part of my series of videos on helping your child to apply for university. And this particular video is all about going along to the open days, and it's just to help you with some practical advice and suggestions as to what to expect. So once your offspring has decided that they want to visit a university, they need to apply for the open days. And as I said in my last video, particularly if they're after a Russell Group university, they need to get into the website and book that as soon as possible, because they do get booked up and then they refuse to let any more people come onto the open day. It's also a great opportunity to research several different courses. So don't feel that you need to know exactly what you're going to do or what they're going to do before you go. You can have a look and you can talk to different people and you can find out which is the best option. Now, once they've actually applied for the open day, at some point they're going to receive a communication from the university sending them a programme as to what to expect. Now, if you've got clueless teenagers, which is what mine were, they will ignore said communication. They won't even realise that they've got it. So you'll need to initiate a search of their inbox to have a look at their emails to see what's happened, and then you can plan your trip. The first thing I'd suggest you do is actually think about your parking if you're going to go by car, and to allow time as well. So have a look and see what they say about parking. Quite a lot of the universities do have space for you on a field somewhere to park your car, and there'll be enough space for you to park. But some of the others, particularly the ones that don't have a large campus or are based a town campus where there's lots of different buildings, parking can be a bit more tricky and you need to allow time for that. So for example, we went to see Leicester University, and on another occasion my husband took one of ours to see De Montfort University, and in those particular cases you have to park at the football club and you have to allow time to actually get to the university. They lay buses on from the football club to the university. They run every 10 to 15 minutes, but if you haven't got much time, that can actually make the difference between getting to a faculty tour or not. And that is what happened to us. So please give yourself enough time. You can also obviously go by bus or by train, and quite often the university will lay on buses from the local railway station to give you a transfer, or they'll put students outside the station and direct you so that you can walk to the uni, depending on how far away it is. So the other thing to have a look at in the programme is to actually think about which tours you want to go on and which talks you want to go to, because they lay them on at various points during the day, and it's worth remembering that you probably won't be able to fit everything in. So really have a think about what the most important priorities are to you, and don't plan to do everything. Don't plan to do all the accommodation tours, for example. Maybe just choose one particular accommodation block that you can look at just to get an idea as to what it's like. Remember that after they've been offered a place at a university, they can apply for 5 and they might get 5 offers, that they then get invited to another open day. This is a candidate's day, which is where the university is really trying to sell the course to them. And quite often they'll do things like accommodation tours as part of that. So if there's anything you miss, if you really like the university, if your son or daughter like the university and want to apply there, they will probably get invited again. And that's also worth remembering if you don't get a chance to go to the open days, but they really like the look of it from the prospectus and want to apply, they will get a chance to go and see it before they actually make up their mind as to which course they're going to make their firm choice. So don't get too worried if you do miss out on the open days. So once you've arrived, what are the important things to do? If you don't know the area at all and you want to find out a bit more about it, I mean, they often will do tours of the town. For example, I can remember going down to Portsmouth and we got on a bus and the bus drove around the town and the student filled us in on various sites to see, but mainly pointed out all the co-ops, which was quite funny. My student son quite enjoyed that, but also gave us sort of a bit of a potted understanding of what there was in the town that was of interest to students, and that was really quite helpful. But a lot of the time you don't get the chance to do that because it's just trying to fit everything in. And at the beginning of the day, usually someone who's quite senior in the university, like the Vice-Chancellor, will give a talk where they welcome you to the university. And it is a marketing spiel. And you don't have to go if you don't want to, if you haven't got time or you get there late. But it can be quite useful to find out a bit about what's available in the area. But they will, really try and sell the university to you. It is a marketing spiel. I would say the most important thing to do is to go along to the subject specialist lectures, the subject specialist tours, and really have a chance to talk to the admissions tutor and the lecturers who are running those events, because that's the point at which you really find out about the course, and it becomes quickly obvious whether or not this course is of interest to you or your child. And it is worth, they usually, as well as having the faculty tours and talks, which you need to sort of make sure that you're booked into, they usually as well have a vast auditorium where you can go and speak to different subject specialists. So if your child isn't quite sure which course they want to do, it is worth just going and having a chat and finding out initially what the different courses are like. So with my third, this is what we did. She initially thought she wanted to do English and maybe creative writing. And once we'd been to visit the film production section of the university, of the stands that were there, she very quickly realised that that was actually really what she wanted to do. And that brings me to the next point, which is that you will know and they will know which is the course they really like. And you'll know because you'll look at their face and you'll see that enthusiasm spilling out of them and the excitement. And I had a Facebook memory coming up recently when my oldest was choosing computer science, and she did have the pick of universities. She could have gone to the top universities that offer computer science, but when she went to Kent University, she felt so welcome there. She really felt in many ways that she'd found a home, that she'd met people who were her sort of people, and she felt very welcome there. And so that was the university she subsequently chose. And it does become very obvious when they found the course that they like. So try not to worry about it. There are a vast array of courses to choose from, but they usually have a pretty good idea as to one or two that they really like. And so, just look at their face and you'll be able to find out which is the right one for them. And again, I'd encourage you, don't worry too much. If it seems like an absolutely mad choice, go with it. They may change their minds, but all is not over. I had my middle one went off and did a first year in film studies, and the reason they were interested in film production was because they really interested in technology. And after a little while on the course, they realised that it was a creative course, and although they thought of themselves as creative, in actual fact they're really technological, and they'd spent most of the year actually building a piece of technology. And he at that point realised that he needed to change course, and that's absolutely fine. And in actual fact, the student loans company give you an extra year, and they know that for many students they're going to arrive and it's not going to be the right thing for them, and sometimes it's only by trying something that you learn that. With our son, we had to let him go ahead and do that, and we had no idea at the start. We suspected it wasn't the right thing for him, but we couldn't say for sure because he was so adamant that it was right for him. So he needed to find that out for himself. And okay, it means now that his friends have finished university just as he's starting his second year, but that's not a problem. It really isn't a problem. He's on the right course and he's really happy now. He's doing engineering, so it isn't the end of the world if they choose the wrong thing to do. And often that's how you know, isn't it? By trying something out, and then you find out from there that perhaps it's not the right thing for you. And it is possible to change courses while you're at the university, or you can leave and then come back at another time. So don't despair. even if they continue to be clueless after the application's over. So I'm just going to look at my notes here to check that I've included everything. Yeah, just to think about, don't be too ambitious, there will be too much to do. So really select your courses. Don't worry about food. All the outlets will be open. You'll be able to buy some lunch, either a lovely 3-course meal if that's what you want, or a quick sandwich. A lot of the universities, the stuff starts earlier in the day. So if it's a full day, plan to get there early, because they will be winding up about 3 o'clock. Other universities, they have a morning session and an afternoon session. Usually the afternoon sessions are a bit quieter, so if you want a good chat with someone, quite often the afternoon sessions are the ones to go for. So I hope that's helped. Just don't forget that if you don't get along to the open days, there will be another chance for your child to visit the university for one of the candidate days. So don't worry about it too much, but they're tremendous fun actually, and it's a chance to spend the day with your son or daughter, and it's a really exciting time. So don't worry about it, just enter into it and enjoy it. And once they've actually decided on their course, the next thing is trying to actually get an offer for it. So my next video is going to be all about making the application, in particular writing their personal statement, and some hints and tips for how to write the personal statement. I hope that's helpful. If you want to look me up on Facebook, you can find me at the Good Enough Mum business page. And if you just put at Good Enough Mums into the search bar, you should be able to find me. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you at my next video. Thank you. Bye.